And welcome to the League Down Under. It's the podcast that takes you inside the inner sanctum of our Dynasty League and it asks the question, which team are you going to side with? I'm your host, Ben, joined as always by my two co-hosts. He's back, everyone. Keeney and Hod, how we doing?
Very well now that our man Roger Rashid's back on the screen. Have a look at the tan on him.
Yes.
Rog, didn't realise Terry Wallace had joined us.
Oh, Roger. That's a ripper. No, I'm glad to be back, boys. It was a very great listen from the wonderful shores of Bali. I quite enjoyed it. I thought you two were hilarious. Scoot took it way too seriously, which is unusual for him. But very glad to be back amongst this great program. And what I was having, you mentioned the drink of choice. I was having a seltzer at the time because I basically drank that like water over there. But my cocktail by the pool is a frozen marg or a frozen daiquiri.
Nice.
If it's hot, I like the colder variety, as cold as you can get it.
Especially over there where the humidity is a bit higher. That's the nice icy drink. I like that choice. Very nice. Glad to have you back, mate. And if you're not understanding Keeney's reference, please jump on YouTube, The League Down Under. I didn't realise how pale I was until I jumped on this episode. My image was next to hot.
Surely that's hitting the Instagram. A little side by side from tonight's ep.
Of the Dodge.
Special guest.
I'll take
Roger Rashid. But speaking of special guests, I think just a shout out to all the league members for jumping on and having their bit. I really enjoyed the last probably 7 or 8 weeks and diving into everyone's team. It's been enjoyable. And of course, there's a game on Friday, boys. The Hall of Fame game kicks off Friday. So NFL is just around the corner. But
can you say football's back with the Hall of Fame game?
I'll be watching. You'll be watching.
Version of it. Yeah, I'll watch a few minutes and then and then maybe see the quality.
You almost don't want any of your players to be playing.
No, it's probably a bad sign if any of your players are playing.
Especially if you have Carson Beck. He's going to show how bad he is.
Yeah. But either way, it's gonna get the juices flowing. You're right, and that's all that matters this time of year. But we've got a new format of an episode. Obviously, we've reviewed all 12 teams in the league. For anyone not familiar with any of us, you now hopefully have maybe started to pick your allegiance to a franchise here. And in the episode today, we're going to get through some hot. You're back and I'm already fumbling my words. Some mini camp news. We're also going to go with some power rankings of the league. We've had everyone in the league sort of share their thoughts on where everyone's at, so we'll get to that in a little bit. But let's kick it off with some news.
Every newsman in this city's laughing at us, and I don't like it.
And, I mean, there's plenty of mini camp news to get through, but I think the one that we're going to start with is talking about the people who got paid.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money,
Straight cash homies.
Straight cash homies. Gets another run there, but I think the two notable deals that got done here, Bijan gets a 3-year deal for $75 million. Not bad, but pretty ordinary when you hold it up against this next one, and that's Zay Flowers. And I've already missed the opportunity.
The flowers blossom in spring, Thais?
Oh, very good.
Forever.
He has gone and found himself with a 4-year extension for $140 million, and I believe 108 of that is guaranteed. That is some more than straight cash. That is an awful lot of cash.
Well, it's an awful lot more than Bijan. It's double his guaranteed money, which is just absurd given the talent of that man. Nothing against Zay, but not sure he's worth that size of contract. But free agency does this every year. 35 a year is the new 25.
Just how much the league values running backs versus wide receivers. It's
what you will see now is Gibbs and maybe JT will have a sizable contract or extension
what's
coming
Gibbs
their way.
gonna? If he's getting 75, is it going to be
76.
In that ballpark.
Yeah.
Maybe 80, but
How
it's
much
all
does this
about-
reset the wide receiver market, though?
it-
Like, what's the... Yeah, is that the baseline now for a top-level talent?
I think so. They just keep resetting the market every time there's a new deal. So, yeah, 4 for 140, and then I don't know who's up next, but it'll be, as we were talking about offline, one of the younger guys, maybe a McMillan, or I don't know if London's been paid yet, but those type of guys will start getting in the same realm, and in 5 years' time it'll be
London, yeah,
it'll be
needs to
cheap.
be paid. Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's on a little sidebar here, guys, that we're talking about. A lot of people saw that Zay Flowers deal and went, that seems like a bit of an overspend. Have you got any... Does it make you think about anything that you've potentially overspent on, or maybe been a little bit coy on telling someone what you've spent a bit of money on?
Yeah, I can start, Hod, because you've probably got something lined up. As soon as you mention this, I'm normally relatively frugal with with my money, fiscally disciplined, as some would call it. But I'll let you in. Actually, I don't even know if I've told many people this, but during the old craze of crypto and Bitcoin and those sorts of things, the old NFTs piqued my interest.
Ooh.
And I got involved in
fungible tokens.
the fungies. I got involved in the NBA Top Shot world. I don't know if you've heard of this.
Okay, yeah, the little like clips.
Yeah,
that
the clips.
yeah.
I got right involved in that, and put it this way, they're worth about $2 today. They're worth $0, and I invested a little bit more than that at the time. So it's more
more
of
than $2.
an investment story that went horribly wrong.
So you
basically.
essentially paid good money for some gifts.
Absolute, but I've still got them. I just logged in. I've logged in for 3 years, but I just checked. I just sussed them out, and they just look as good as ever.
What are the clips? What are
Darius
the clips on?
Garland. I've got a Darius Garland.
Okay.
I've got about 6 of them. So Darius Garland, Andrew Wiggins, Aaron
Charizard.
Gordon Hayward. I got all the hits.
If
So there you
only
go.
you
That's my little
were, if
overspend.
only you were this entrepreneurial back in sort of grade 5 when Pokemon cards were taken off, mate, it would be a very
huge.
different story right now.
Huge.
Well, Hod, we'll leave you to last because I feel like yours is going to be juicy. Mine's nothing too exciting, but I mean, clearly you show a sign of your age when you're dropping a few $100s on a coffee machine. That's my one that I recently did. It's it's got an app that attaches to it, so I can preset it, and I wake up and the pot of coffee's ready for me, and it's done like pour over style and all sorts of fancy stuff. I'm becoming a real coffee connoisseur for the black coffee.
That sounds an unbelievable investment.
Well, I'm pretty happy with it. I think if you told some others the amount that I spent on a coffee machine, they'd probably go, "What are you doing?"
Well,
Worth it.
Speaking of fiscally disciplined, that's not a lot for a coffee machine.
Well, it's not one of those like ones that can steam the milk, and those ones are pretty expensive. This is like the like pot of coffee, like the American
your
style.
percolated.
Which I mean, the cheapest one's like $60. So comparatively, when you're spending more than 10 times of that amount,
I just like that it's got an app.
yeah, the app
They
that's
can do it all for you.
All right, Hod, bring it home. What's where's your money gone?
You're building this up.
know.
I mean, recency bias is I paid an awfully large amount for this tan going overseas.
I was
but-
going to say, I thought you didn't buy a solarium, did you?
No, but I may do so in future when the pearly whites are shining this bright. But no, what I did invest in, I've done a lot of deep diving into health and all sorts of things since COVID, and I still have it. I don't use it, and it's more so because of the size of it, not because it didn't work. But
hello.
a hydrogen water bottle. You reckon?
Doesn't water have hydrogen?
Didn't know what
Naturally
we were
in
talking
it?
about there.
No. It produces hydrogen ion into the water through the bubbling process. Very good for you, very high in antioxidants, but it's just too small. So I stopped using it. But it probably doubles your coffee investment there for a water bottle, Ben.
Wow. Okay.
So
Now
yeah,
I'm intrigued. The cost you dropped on a water bottle there.
treat yourself.
At least you could all sell yours for somewhere close to what you paid.
yeah, non-fungible tokens, non-financial.
Me fungies on YouTube.
For free.
Speaking of
Crazy.
fungi,
Oh, how fungy was this, everyone? The DFF. Now,
Huge.
I mean, I don't think we painted a nice picture of how the DFF operates. And if there is ever a sign that the podcast is actually, it's moving people's thoughts, it's the fact that the DFF dropped, I would say, a pretty monumental trade by his standards. He came on, he said, basically, his mantra is you never trade. You hold on to your assets until they lose value and then gain value again. That was his sort of way that he saw it panning out. But Keating, run us through what went down here.
Well, you're right. It's just an overwhelming sense of pride to see this trade go down. And I love the trade, to be honest. So the DFF has traded away JJ McCarthy, which, what pick did he spend on JJ?
106.
106, yep. So JJ McCarthy, after a couple of years, a 2027 first, and we know those picks are nice, Hod, tied to the DFF, and a couple of thirds in 2027. Notably, one of them is Cumos, so you'd have to say that's looking like a more juicy third. But in return, gets Brock Purdy and a 2027 second attached to me. So all in all, the way I look at it is I think you're fetching a first plus for Purdy. If it's a late first, like there's a bit of a gamble on what the DFF first is, but to bring in Purdy for, in my view, JJ McCarthy's such a risky asset this year. If he holds him for 12 months, by this time next year, he might be worth a fourth rounder at best. So to get off that train and get on a really stable asset in Purdy, get back a second, only give up a first. I love the deal for the DFF.
How much of this deal for Manny screams of him going, I just want to lock in a starting QB? Because he's got Kyler.
Yeah,
He's got JJ. For at least this season, he thinks he's got the handcuff figured out, no matter how it goes.
There's probably a bit in that. But for mine, it lowers his ceiling a little bit in terms of the likelihood is only one of those players are going to pan out and the other one's going to rapidly drop in value. And he's probably hedging his bets there. And look, he picks up a first, but for mine, he gives away the best player in the deal. We've talked about there's no guarantee these first rounders hit. You're getting a known asset plus a little bit more for the DFF. I really like it for him. I'm not sure what Manny's doing strategically with his roster, which we can dive into a little bit, but I don't know if he's rebuilding or not, but I love these trades that go down, and the more of them, the better.
So, Keeney, am I hearing this right that you're calling JJ McCarthy the non-fungible token of fantasy?
He's got some NFT about him. He does. He really does.
He had some high stock. He had
106.
promise. Now his value's probably a couple of bucks.
Well, and we'll talk about the training camp buzz shortly, but there hasn't been great buzz. In fact, I heard the terms audible groans at Minnesota when JJ was throwing the ball today. So that's two words you don't want. Correct. Two words you don't want.
It's slippery sledding when we start questioning the smartest man in the league. He quoted that he was shedding the dead weight, and we may get into the buzz around the San Francisco area with this electricity plant or whatever, because it's just, who knows, Purdy might be next. Maybe he's got a crystal ball.
Just quickly before we do, I'd like both of your thoughts on this trade, just briefly, if you like it for one side or the other.
Yeah, well, what I like it for is the future of Ari, Steph's son, is because this is a philosophical change in this man's approach to life, because he was just happy to cruise everywhere, mediocre, some would say no dog in the fight. And
just happy to have a seat at the table. Yeah,
that's right. And I won't take this quote, but I think the Bayside executioner may have said that Laura will take over this team, his lovely wife, soon. So now that he has made this might be just a little bit more hope for the young Ari Gold that he can take over this empire one day, and it might be in better stead than what it was before this trade. I really like it.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you touched DFF claims he didn't listen to last week's pod, but the fact that he's sort of taken on a bit of the Bayside execution and mentality to really lean into this season, I don't know. I think sneakily he might have just listened to a bit of Scoot's mantra here. I really like the trade on the DFF side. I get what Manny's trying to do. I'm not high on JJ McCarthy, and I don't see that turning. But if it does, good on him. That's to get a first. And JJ, I just think Brock Purdy's really underrated. I mean, he rated him pretty highly too. So he's clearly the homer side of him has crept in a little bit there.
Last one on this. Now that he has both Minnesota quarterbacks,
Yep.
I would actually think that he wants McCarthy to win this job, because if he doesn't, he probably, like you said, doesn't carry any weight, any value in a year's time. Kyler still might. A team might be willing to take a shot on Kyler if he didn't even play this year. But if Kyler wins a job and McCarthy doesn't play,
It's probably
kind of a sunk cost for both.
Well, he kind of moves into that Darnold range, doesn't he? Where his only sort of way out of it is probably becoming a bit of a journeyman, and then
Just going to prolong any value.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move to a bit of the... this is the inevitable part of the season that happens with minicamp, and that is the injuries. And it's the part that when a sleeper alert pops up, you're hoping it isn't one of your players injured. Ricky Pearsall's probably... You mentioned the buzz hod of the 49ers and all that talk about the electric station apparently causing a lot of tendon damage and soft tissue injuries. But, I mean, correlation isn't always causation, but when you've got Ricky Pearsall, James, Stribling, Keelan Black, Evans, Kirk, all out with injuries, and Pearsall is a season-ending PCL injury, it's pretty dire signs, and the fact that they've gone and signed Debo back there shows you that they even see this as like... Yeah, we're in a bit of trouble here. And you could throw Kittle in there with the Achilles. Absolutely. So it's pretty devastating this early in the year to have that many players sidelined. And, they're not all like little niggles. Like the fact that, Kittle's on the pup list, Pearsall's out for the season. Evans, have they sort of said how serious
they're saying it's a
is?
minor quad, I believe, but
nothing's minor for Evans anymore.
He's old enough.
Soft tissue.
Yep.
It's the one thing he struggles with for the last 6 years.
Kirk's a calf. They're hard to shake as well as a receiver.
Interestingly, the GM, John Lynch, said that they were signing Debo regardless because they want him to be the kick and punt returner. So I figure he's going to be a bit more used than just those roles now.
And there's a bit of talk. Brandon Ayuk is in discussion too, but I think he just put that out there. That guy doesn't even know what planet he's on.
Nah.
It's absurd.
He'll be on the next GTA front cover.
Yeah, absolutely. And some other minicamp news with injuries. Malik Neighbours, apparently it was not that bad. All that hobbling at kickball games and everything, he's looking pretty good. Right now he's on track for a week 1 start, and then Kyle Monungai with a soft tissue injury there. So something to watch with that backfield. Maybe Swift just tends to take that role under his belt.
Be calmer. Jake didn't want to get rid of him.
Very true.
Huge for Malik though, in terms of from a redraft point of view. Now that you could probably, attack him with some confidence in redraft now. Whereas 3 weeks ago it was very, very dicey.
Yeah, Jackson Dart's value looks pretty nice with him.
Yep.
Healthy too.
Not with Matt Nagy though.
Nah. Not really. All right, what about some minicamp buzz, Hod?
Oof.
Yes. Well, Chicago is the talk of the town. Is sky high is the potential for this offense. But Burden keeps getting talked about, and there's a correlation here with St. Brown and how Ben Johnson used him as the primary weapon. And that's all that's been happening in the Bears training camp is he's all over the field. He's always in motion, and he's the one that they're creating plays for. So it's going to be a massive story this year as who are the big 2 maybe out of the 3. I don't think he can support all 3. Unless Caleb becomes a number 1 quarterback and it's a Joe Burrow sort of season with 4,040 or something. So interesting one to watch in the Bears camp.
How do you guys go about the training camp stuff? Because I try and ignore it as best as I can, but it's so hard. It's just everywhere, all over me X or my Twitter. It's just every
just
single.
never sound right. X.
No, it doesn't. I don't love it. But it's like I was pretty firm on a Dunze, and it's just hard not to sway a little bit now.
Yeah.
It really is, because you're right, Hod. Everything that is coming out of there is just Luther Burden. And the drum beats are enormously loud.
But isn't this just media? Like, that's the fun story that you're going to get. And it works the other way. The fun story in Arizona is when Marvin Harrison drops a pass, and it sucks for him, but that's what they're going to show. They're not going to show him torching a defender.
Well, it's what's going to get the clicks. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it is hard. But another one that's getting the clicks is Ken Walker's season in Kansas City. Because Rashee Rice didn't look great in that footage of him going downfield. He looks 40. But
to your point,
he's the low ADOT receiver, and if he's not fit to start the year, then they might just incorporate Ken Walker into the passing game, which he can do, but hasn't been asked to in Seattle over his 5 years. So if he can do that, I think Mahomes will start slow. They've got a great defense. This is their highly paid acquisition. He could start really, really strong and finally crack that top 10 in his career.
Yeah. And to pair that with the fact that Xavier Worthy's already banged up again, like that guy appears to be made of glass. Same shoulder. Yep. You got Kelsey's the other option, who's going into year 52 for him now.
Some kegs.
Sure, he's had a nice off season.
I'm actually I know we spoke about him a few pods ago, but I'm coming around to Ken Walker big time this year. The more you sort of delve into it a little bit, the more you see that, as we've sort of discussed, Andy Reid hasn't had a top line running back like this, but whenever he actually does, he features them significantly. I think the corpse of Kareem Hunt actually did something last year, and with the Mahomes injury, with the rest of the receivers, I'm with you. And what I heard was that he said he was wanting to leave Seattle even if the money was the same, because he wanted to be featured, and he didn't feel like he's ever going to be featured in Seattle. Yep. So that was the motivation for leaving. And now Kansas City might just be telling him he's going to get featured, but it just, everything that sort of stacks up tells you that this guy could have a massive year if he stays healthy.
Well, and certainly to your point, Hod, massive first half of the season, and then it becomes an interesting point of, do you ride it out or do you try and cash in when he's high?
But it's who's the competition? Like the rookie Emmett Johnson or Dean
What's
Mercado?
more if their philosophy in offense changes as the season goes, I guess would be not so much his status as the number one back.
Yeah, I agree. It's more if Mahomes gets his confidence back and they start to air it out a bit with Rice getting healthy. Speaking of healthy,
bit of Colts news.
Daniel Jones. I just find this staggering. 8 months post-surgery, he is running everything in training.
He hasn't missed a snap, has he?
Unlimited, no. Which just means it's great for all Colts. Alec Pierce is obviously not there yet, but Tyler Warren's he is very non-spoken about. Loveland gets all of it. You just got to remember, halfway through last year, Loveland had not even popped up, and Tyler Warren was the tight end 2 behind Kraft. So with Daniel Jones at the helm, these Colts skill players, including JT, might be just a sneaky underrated pick again this year.
Nah, I love me some Warren, mate. No Pittman there. I think he could have a huge year at tight end. And also great for JT that Daniel Jones is playing, because I think once he came out of the lineup, he sort of got bottled up a little bit more. But with Daniel Jones in there, he was number one, wasn't he? Stack the box, boys.
Moving at a glacial pace when he dropped back.
throw it wherever you want.
Parker Washington. He's getting a bit of buzz, and actually probably spoken about a bit with this Zay Flowers deal of this is going to make negotiations a little bit trickier for the Jags. I mean, I don't know if you'd necessarily say he's on the same level as what Zay Flowers produced, but he's going into a pretty good position this year, and Zay Flowers had a big step up last year. So, yeah, a bit of buzz going on there for the Parker.
Yeah, he's they just speak about him so glowingly, like he's the number one weapon. But every day of Jags camp, they've had the different receiver, and I think this is going to be the problem all year. 4 days ago, it was Travis Hunter was everywhere. Then it was Parker Washington. Then it was
Brian
Jacoby
Thomas.
Myers, and then yesterday was Brian Thomas making the play of the camp. So I just don't know, a bit like these other offenses like Chicago, like Green Bay, with the wide receiver rooms, it's just going to be hard to pick who emerges, but you want pieces of the offense.
I think the answer could be Trevor Lawrence.
Well, always. Same as Chargers with Herbert. You take the quarterback when you're unsure, but
What's
pretty promising.
What's a prediction for Trevor Lawrence finish this year? Top
I think
Top five?
he could. Well, yeah, I think you look 2 years ago with what Liam Cohen was able to do with Baker. I can't see why he doesn't have that in his range of outcomes, like QB6, QB5, somewhere in that range.
I think 4-5 is definitely on the cards.
Well, he finished 4 last year.
Not pumped. I got rid of him.
He's currently going around QB8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
could be value.
that's a good investment for sure. Najee Harris, old one-eyed Najee.
What are we talking about this bloke for?
He's got some relevance.
There's just some whispers with the Greg McRoman connection in the Giants' land. Scatterbo coming off injury. They want to run the ball a heap. So just watch this space. Could be an annoying signing for the Scatterbo.
You know why he would be an annoying signing? Because then we can't play this drop.
I'm a scat man.
I mean, for that reason alone, I want him to stay the hell away. Let alone the fact that I'm a Giants fan and I do not want to see Najee Harris
What
on
does
our
that
roster.
What does that say for Tyrone Tracy?
Yeah,
Surely Tracy's a better running back
Tracy's
than.
having 1,000-yard seasons. He can catch. He's no slouch.
Well, he's the passing. Both Scatterbo and Tracy are good passing down running backs. So, don't know. Just
probably-
something I read.
If anything, it's insurance for the concussion stuff with Scatterbo because he's a psycho.
That's true.
There's a couple more concussions coming his way, I'm sure.
Well, let's keep the bleak news going. And Dylan Gabriel's the best QB of the Browns so far in their mini camp. So that doesn't bode well for Tim Moss and his Shadur Sanders
MVP.
prediction, MVP.
Yeah, this is.
But, I mean, it's pretty hard to read into mini camp stats, isn't it? Because you just don't know what
It
defenses
is,
are
but
going
it's also a bit of a reflection on Watson and Sanders. Gee whiz.
Yeah.
So there was a pretty interesting footage that KC Concepcion hurt his shoulder diving for a ball thrown at his feet. And you can overhear one of the defenders on the sideline going, sack the quarterback, cut the quarterback today.
Who was it?
I don't know. I don't know if it was Watson or Sanders, but they were not happy with it. Concepcion's fine, but he was on the ground for a while with a banged up shoulder because of a poor throw. So,
it's not good.
But last one around the news up. We're not going to speak about Miami all that much this year, I wouldn't have thought. But Malik Washington is undoubtedly the wide receiver one in Miami, dominating the touches, featured a lot. So just a sneaky PPR play for this year. Jim has Malik Washington?
I believe so.
So just might be a nice little stash down there.
And he was pretty productive when Tyreek got injured last year down the stretch. From memory, I had him in redraft in a couple of leagues. But if he's the wide receiver one, it's a bleak season ahead for Miami, and that is trouble for Willis in terms of what they're going to be able to access in the draft going forward. And the thing is, they only need to be in the number one pick contention with 5 or 6 weeks to go, and they'll shut the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way they'll be motivated to keep winning. So there's going to be a few teams in the same space, which will make it even worse. So I'm really interested to see how Miami play it, how Arizona play it, even Carolina, like those types of teams that are QB needy potentially. If they're having a poor year to start, do they shut it down early?
Miami Humdingers.
You've already shut it right down.
Yeah. You're not even waiting to see how it pans out. And,
Speaking of,
what a good segue, because we've heard from the league, but just to get a really good feel of where everyone's at, we've reached out and we've developed our first round of power rankings.
That's the power of love. That's the power of love.
And this is going to be a segment that will feature quite heavily each week, and that is, I mean, the league loves the sound of their own voice, so why not give them a platform to share their feelings towards others? So we're going to reveal, everyone's gone and filled out a form that, to be honest, Hod, I thought left a massive door ajar for human error when it comes to the members of this league. There's a lot of trust that there wouldn't be double ups for like position 10 and 9. And were there mistakes?
There was
One mistake?
Out of 144 selections, one. Have a guess who it was.
DFF.
No, it was Timos, but it was very easy fix.
Yeah, well, I was a little bit worried when I first saw the form, because I thought this could be riddled with mistakes if people aren't paying attention. But well done. We'll do reverse standings here, and I'll quickly run through 12 through to 9, because I think it's a pretty unanimous decision. And speaking of unanimous, number 12, Hod, I thought you were going to be the
unanimous in conclusion.
I'll play it again because I talked over it.
Unanimous in conclusion.
Thanks, Papa. You weren't the unanimous in conclusion. There were 3 people that didn't have you ranked last. So we might have to hear from Manny, Steph, and James. All coincidentally had you at 10th as well.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, boys. I couldn't have tried to be number 12 more than what I have. But we can't read into it too much, because James and Steph let emotion get in the way of their voting and put some selections at 12 that shouldn't be there, let's be frank. And then Manny kindly put me at 10. Oh, well, I think he might be sick on burgeritis, because he's put me at 10, but then he's put himself at 2. So that doesn't add up.
There's a few things of Manny's that don't add up. Maybe you're right. Maybe the red meat's just like, it's just got to his brain right now. But 11, the San Diego Demons. 10 was the Gym City Stallions. 9 was the Park City Lions. I'm going to just highlight of that batch there that Manny did have the San Diego Demons. There was the only person that put them dead last. So interesting that, he has you 2 spots ahead of the Demons. So you're certainly not tanking properly if that's Manny's takeaway.
I wonder if he's got a notepad with everyone's team and he flipped through the pages.
Maybe the pages were stuck together and he was accidentally looking at like a couple of seasons ago.
A little bit of sauce, a little bit of McChicken sauce.
Rostibation.
All right, let's move to the 8th selection here, and the DFF. He's going to be flat to hear that. But Keeney, you are the highest person on the DFF in this ranking, so talk us through. You had him at number 5.
Well, I had him at 5, and I can't believe he's come out at 8, to be honest. And look, the way I approached it was, I think someone in that division has to at least finish in the top 6 because they've got to make playoffs. But I also give him a little bit more credit than that. Since we've been through every team, I've actually started listening to and going through some redraft stuff. And the more I hear and the more I listen, the more I think he's got some very, very interesting pieces, if not just for this year, but some players that can surprise. Like, I love the addition of Purdy. We've spoken about that. And now that Darnold's his QB3, that's a room of Herbert, Purdy, and Darnold is great.
Yep.
Like, that's a huge improvement. But then, like, Breece Hall, I think, could have a bounce back year. Igbuka, we've spoken about. McConkey with Herbert could be an unbelievable stack this year. Waddle could have a huge year. Sean Payton's talking up how important he's going to be and the role he's going to play. So there's just these pieces of his team that I just really like the look of. DeAndre Swift in Chicago. Like, there's just, I don't know. So I think when I go through it, I think a little bit more credit needs to be that he is a genuine chance at not only getting there, but being really dangerous when he does. So I've got him at 5 and really comfortable having him there.
Are you, because Ben and I have him at 7, and I think, I don't want to speak for you, Ben, but are you concerned about Keeney, his depth? Because his starters are very strong, but after that, it's not a whole lot.
Yeah, I think that's fair, but some of his depth are also some younger types. In Price at Seattle, Stribling could have some opportunity. Even like I can't pronounce his name, from Tennessee. Like, I know he was pretty high on him, Manor or whatever his name is. He'll get some looks there. So yeah, I agree. The depth isn't super. Terrence Ferguson could be a breakout in the Rams. Like, who knows? Like, he's got some pieces that, yeah, there's some unknown, but there could be some upside in there as well. So I just can't believe the rest of. I know it's a little bit of a bit for the league to shit on the DFF, but everyone else has got him 8 and 9. Like, well, he's better than that.
Jim had him at 12, so
Jim
and DFF had himself
Jim.
at 1.
Steph had him at 1.
Yeah,
so he had a 1 and a 12. That's there's the emotion there. I think your takeaway on the DFF is a real glass half full look. I'm with Hod. He needs a lot to go right to finish, but to Scoot's point, there's a world where that outcome is there for sure.
But I love the Purdy trade has made him.
It's
so
a real
much more stable
base from QB for sure.
Yep.
All right, number 7, we had the sensible haircuts coming in here, who ranked himself pretty highly, didn't he, Keeney?
He did. He ranked himself at 2, which
Has Johnny Unitas ever not been 6 or 7?
Yeah, he's right in that range, isn't he? But he preaches mediocrity as well.
He does,
according to his podcast. Yep. So I don't know why he's put himself second, because he's a real 5, 6, 7 man, isn't he? And
coming
Paul
in at
Como,
7, perfect.
Paul Como's put him 3, and he's reciprocated by putting Como at 12. So
yeah, I
not
mean,
much love.
It does feel like the friendship bump was there on Como's side of things, but it was almost the complete opposite for me.
It's a love-hate. Como loves Manny and Manny hates Como.
Como's got a few questionable votes.
Como, yeah, you can follow Como's picks and go, he's gone with a few with his heart for sure. I'm really interested as to why Manny has gone with Como dead last. I do think he's the only person that did it. But so maybe we might have exposed a bit of a fracture in their relationship. Who knows?
But outside of Manny voting himself 2 and Como putting him 3, basically everyone else 7 and 8.
Yep.
Which is right where he likes to be.
Yep. Yeah, it's right in that mediocrity zone.
Just a bit below.
Yeah.
Do you reckon this man will like being where he is?
Oh, I don't think so. The Bayside Executioner is coming in at number 6 here. He was the last addition on the pod because he's the reigning champ, but comes in middle of the pack according to the league. And
hurt by
Keeney,
a 12 vote.
You're one of the lowest. I mean, Steph is definitively the lowest. He's put him at number 12, but we know what the relationship between the two of them is. So, Keeney, give us your thoughts on why you've ranked him a little bit lower than where he's finished up in 7th.
Yeah, it was largely around, I mean, I spoke about depth for the DFF. It's largely around that for him in his receiver room. And now with Ricky Pearsall out for the year, it gets even thinner. And you got to start 3 of them every week. And, there's the burden buzz helps him. But I like Jamison Williams. As I said last week, I just don't see how Detroit can feed them all outside of an injury. So I just don't think there's a wide receiver 1 in that room. And when you've got to start 2 or 3 of them, it just worries me a little bit.
There's a lot that needs to go right for him outside.
And if he gets a burden injury, then he's in big trouble.
Yep.
Yeah, the wide receivers are a little thin, but he knew that.
Yeah, he knows that.
I just wonder if it's a perfect time for a down tier of Trey McBride there seems to be a really nice cluster, because usually tight end is your top one or two, and then you just, the rest is pretty even, whatever. But I reckon this year 3 through to 7 is pretty nice and could make the jump if they haven't already in some people's minds. But there could be an opportunity there to down tier from McBride and then add another depth piece, because that's what he likes to do. He likes to take the shots for the guys up and coming. So just looking at that.
The other down tier could be possibly James Cook or Quinton Judkins.
Yeah, well, I mentioned on the pod last week, I asked him about McBride and Gibbs as down tier options. And Gibbs is probably in a different stratosphere, but certainly McBride around. Yeah, can you roll down to a Tyler Warren and pick up something for him? Because there are some I like in that range as well. But time will tell whether he goes down that path.
For a man who bathes in hubris, he's ranked himself 5.
Yeah,
so he knows. He's pretty modest there by the reigning champ.
Do you think if the Bayside Executioners, I think it's at the Executioners official, unban the DFF from accessing the Insta account, that maybe the 12 ranking might go up a bit? He's still adamant that he's not getting in.
I think it's once he pays his debt with the last hedge.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a thirsty man, the DFF.
He really is. And
speaking
of thirsty, I don't know the segue, but number 5, Keeney, the Grouse, coming in there. But Hod, I think there's probably one person that really bumped you up to number 5 here, or helped an awful lot with it.
Certainly helped. That is Camo, the man with the most questionable selections, what we're gathering here. So I'm not sure how much you can take from that, but this is a contender. Power rankings are about contending. So you must be happy with this number 5, considering you've got the capital to potentially jump if you want to.
Yeah, my biggest issue is the 3 names above me, which we'll get to in a sec.
There's 4 names above you, mate.
There is. I don't count the one directly above me. I'm referring to our division. But it's nice to be in that echelon after not doing much last year, but we'll see what happens. Thanks, Camo, for the shout out at 1, by the way.
Yeah, number 1. But then on the opposite end, you've got Jim that's ranked you outside of playoff contention here, finishing 7th. How does that make you feel?
Yeah. Well, he's got it. He's got me 7th and Jim 8th, so yeah, it doesn't make me feel great, to be honest. I'm getting him 2 tickets to the St Kilda Carlton game as well, and he's done that.
And he's gone and done that to you. Jesus.
It's not on.
Not on. Let's move. So right, narrowly, you got pipped here by the number 4 spot, OJ's legal team. So I think a good portion to make that close based off everyone else's selection was Camo putting you at number 1. But this is a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, probably the consistent part here is that everyone has Jake making the playoffs. But then in terms of where that spot's going to be, he ranges from 2 to 6. And there's no real clear pattern there. It's a bit scattergun. So, yeah, I think that probably speaks volumes for Jake. He even came on and admitted that he doesn't necessarily care too much about finishing too high. It's just about getting there and getting the job done when you're there.
Well, I'm pretty sure, it's a little while ago now, but I remember Jake saying that he's the best at this and no one sits above him, yet he has ranked his biggest rival at number 1 and himself at number 2, putting the prestige worldwide. So Matt will be chuffed at that. Not sure what the tactic is.
I know what the tactic is. He's trying to do reverse psychology with the fantasy gods. If he's too modest, he'll get punished with a Menungai injury or something. I don't know.
Watch this space.
Let's get to the heavy hitters here. I mean, we've covered a couple of teams now that are going to be right amongst it, but these 3 have kind of created an upper echelon in the league. And number 3 right now is the Pappers Punishers. He's going to be a bit disappointed. He put himself in at number 1 there, but he wasn't the only person that put him at number 1. A couple of others.
I was going to say, second most 1 votes.
Yeah,
Out of
Scoot
anyone?
had him there. Jim had him there. So he's got a few followers, but the lowest on him was Manny. So I don't know what that says. I mean, we've sort of questioned a couple of things that Manny's done in this voting. He had him at 7th, which is huge, really, when you think about it. Like, Papa's team has some very nice assets, and he's got him not making the playoffs. So what's your takeaway on Manny's take there?
Oh, who would know? We need to get write a reply from Manny just to understand why.
Get inside the brain.
Because you're right, it doesn't seem like there's, Jake's got him 6, but that's emotional. There's no doubt there's emotion attached to that
There's
ranking.
a bit of bias.
And everyone else is in that 1 to 4 range, which I think everyone suggests is where he should be. So, man, I didn't think there was much angst between Manny and Papa, but maybe there is under the surface. Maybe there's been some trades going on that they haven't enjoyed how it's gone. So maybe this is a bit of a reason for it. But we'll have to ask Manny.
Interesting as well that, arguably one of Papa's weaknesses is his running back room. And Manny doesn't typically rate the running back, so it's interesting that he would be so low on him. Should absolutely love them. Let's go to number 2 here, and it is the McMahon finish.
Yeah, McMahon
and
Spesh.
coming in at number 2 is the Straight Cash Homies, who had Hod, you put him at number 1, so very high on him, but a lot of 2s and 3s. So a pretty tight sort of window here, except for, talk to a couple of the points you saw in these rankings.
Well, I found it interesting that Camo had him at 6. So, and I know Tim's quite modest in how he goes about it, pretty nonchalant. So maybe Camo just took his review when Tim was on a bit too literal, because Tim's put himself at 4 and then Camo at 6, and they are the 2 lowest of anyone. Jim's got Tim at 4 as well. So, I just thought that was interesting. Tim probably doesn't talk his team up enough, but that's just where he wants to be. Quiet achiever.
Keeney, can we get a confirmation? Has Camo actually tuned into anything since his episode?
Yeah,
Do we
definitely
even know?
has.
He definitely
has. He's loving the work.
All right, excellent.
Strong feedback.
Hard to know with these power rankings if he has been actually paying attention to people's teams. But the number 1
unanimous in conclusion
is the Prestige Worldwide here. You get Papa trying to make his point, I think, with where he's got him ranked here, which is at number 4. But majority is just a 1-2 finish. In fact, is he the only one outside of a 1-2?
Yep.
He is. There you go.
Yeah,
So, he really tried to drill that point home, didn't he, when Papa was on the pod? Oh, I finished number 1. I had the best record. He only had an 8-6 season, and he's tried to double down here again today. So what's your overall takeaway from the first batch of the power rankings? Do you think that's pretty accurate? Do you think there's going to be an awful lot of change between now and when we get started?
Well, I think the main takeaway is probably there's a clear 1 and a clear 2 off the back of this, and then it's pretty bunched from 3 to 5, and then the bottom 4 are pretty consensus. So it's probably relatively predictable at this stage of the year, but there's no doubt things will change, assets will change hands, and power rankings will be affected.
And it's pretty consistent with the daddy, of course.
Yeah.
We've only got
the Oracle.
We've only got the Grouse and Bayside Executioners flipped, and then also
the Stallions and the Demons, I think.
Just down the bottom there.
Yeah.
So the daddy, Daddy.
I wonder how many people consulted the daddy when doing their power rankings.
saying a lot of daddy.
That brings us to arguably a short and sharp episode, just under the hour mark here. It's nice, and people can do that on their commute quite easily listening to this. So that is, the first power rankings are always going to be interesting. We might hold off until maybe the eve of the season after mini camps are done before we get everyone's opinions, and we'll actually even put it out to the broader audience. So if you're not on yet, get on Instagram. get your just be tuned in, be following along, so when the stories pop up, you can get your votes there. But Hod, how did it feel to be back on the pod?
That's good, boys. We are well and truly in football season now. It's August. Training camp is done, and preseason's about to start. So we are just trying to validate all of our predictions and our players doing well in camps. It's a very exciting time for us doing this program.
Love it. That's all from the League Down Under, whether you're rebuilding, contending, or convincing yourself that next year's your year. Thanks for tuning in. Hit us up on Instagram for all the league banter. You know, be on there when a story hits and you can get your votes in for the upcoming power rankings. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see Hod's tan and his pearly whites. And you never miss a bonus episode, or bonus content. And we'll catch you next time. Remember that flags fly forever, but so do screenshots of terrible trades. Peace!
Roger Rasheed.